I see so many friends and supporters and scientists, partners. I have my personal mentors in the room, and it's really extremely exciting to feel that we are on the cusp of kind of the next phase of Project Exploration's work. But you know, a lot of times we hear about standing on the shoulders of giants, and what you need to understand about Project Exploration is that we stand on the shoulders of students. Everything that's good, anything that you hear about today, you have to understand was shaped by students. They tell us what matters. They let us know what's important to them. And I've been thinking about our students. Very often it's graduation season, and we now, as we hit our 10th, 11th, 12th cycle of students, have students graduating college. And Danton Nicholson, he graduated from Kenwood High School. He just graduated from Cheney. It's a historically black college. He's on his way to a graduate program in engineering. Edna Angelis, who went to Curie High School. She's working as a professional scientific illustrator. We have Andres Boutron, who was at the First Perspectives Charter School. He's now in a master's program in geology in Montana. And, you know, just think about that, all of us who know Chicago public schools, to think of a Latino first-generation college-bound young man to go out of state to school and then to get a degree and then a higher degree in geology. We have to understand these are rare and precious moments, and they shouldn't be rare and precious, and that's what's bringing us here today. When my husband, Paul Serino, and I co-founded Project Exploration, we didn't anticipate any of this. We really started the organization because we were looking around to try to understand, well, whose job is it in the city of Chicago to make sure that young people, the young people that we most cared about, regular young people, had a chance to work with scientists and do real science. And the landscape that we saw back in 1999 looked something like this. There were incredible cultural institutions serving thousands and thousands of young people day in and day out. And there were highly competitive, very small elite programs for elite students or students whose families could pay for them. And there was really nothing in between. And there was certainly nothing for students, the ones we were most concerned with, the more than 50% who were not likely to graduate from high school. And so we started Project Exploration, and those programs started with two basic premises that are alive and well today in 2011. Firstly, that learning is based in relationships. And secondly, that real experiences are really the best experiences. When we started Project Exploration, we knew that science was, in a peculiar way, very unfriendly for lots of reasons in school, and we may end up talking about that today at the panel. We didn't appreciate until very recently how unique some of what Project Exploration is doing in terms of the national landscape for opportunities for young people in science. We started by targeting students who were open-minded and curious, irrespective of their grades. In fact, if they were struggling in school, all the better, and we've developed some strategies to actually reach out just specifically to those students. When we opened our doors, it was with Sisters for Science, and there's some of their journals here and some pictures of their work in action. And we opened our doors with the Junior Paleontologist program. Sisters for Science is an after-school program for middle school girls. They tell us what they're interested in. We bring in women scientists, and they spend the year exploring science and leadership. Junior Paleontologist program brings a dozen middle and high school students to the American West to go on a real expedition. Those programs are still alive today, thanks to many of the supporters in this room and folks like Abbott and the Motorola Solutions, who have really invested in us over the long haul consistently. And ever since 1999, when we had Sisters for Science and the Junior Paleontologist program, we've been off and digging. And now we're in a slightly different place. We serve 250 middle and high school students with very intensive programs every single year. We partner annually with about 40 Chicago public schools across the city. And our kids are CPS kids. 85% of our students come from low-income African-American and Latino families. 74% are girls. We have a lot of girl-only programs. And every single student has a powerfully wonderful contact teacher, because the trick, we believe, is in part connecting out-of-school experiences where students can find success to their academic lives. And again, we may get into that. But we could not do any of this without teachers. So what's our model? It's access to experts, it's high caliber, compelling, interest-driven content, and it's personalized learning over the long haul. We're much more concerned about long-term relationships than anything else. We want to get kids interested in science, yes, who doesn't? But the trick is, how do you keep them interested? And how do you support them to really develop the skills they need to be equipped to pursue science in college and beyond, should they choose? And there's terrific programs around the city that we're able to partner with, like Stephanie's over at Northeastern Illinois, where we've got some partners waiting to receive those students and give them the ongoing support. We read and write with our students every day, and once you're in, you're in. There's no escape. So 1,000 students have been in our programs. We hit our 10-year mark and we said, what is going on? We commissioned the 10-year study. You've got the executive summary. We're lucky to have some folks with us who worked with us on it. And we wanted to understand what mattered to students, because we wanted to shape our vision for the future. The lessons we learned, we think, are not just lessons for us in how Project Exploration can be a great organization with great programs. We think they're lessons that actually could inform the community in this room about what matters and how we could be working together. The study, the 10-year retrospective study, and the associated research and the dissemination was funded through the Noyce Foundation. And thanks to them, we were able to move from anecdotes to data. I think today's breakfast is an attempt to move from a single organization to a community agenda. And I'm very, very excited to have this community in this room and to turn the microphone over to Laura Washington, who's going to steer us through this morning. Laura is you probably already know her, but in case you don't, she's an extraordinary thinker, critiquer, political analyst, and journalist who specializes in national politics, race, social justice, and we are so lucky to have you with us. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Gabriel. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Gabriel. You know, it's quite an honor to be here before you today. I've been connected with Project Exploration in one way or another since I think almost from the beginning. Chris Torkelson, a former staff member and an old friend, connected me to it and educated me about what you were doing, and I've stayed in touch with Gabriel over the years. And it hits especially personally close to home with me, because I think I'm part of that demographic, Gabriel, that you described. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, working class family, and had a really strong interest in science in high school. I was one of those people who loved to dissect the pig fetuses and loved to do the chemistry assignments. And thought I wanted to maybe go into pre-med or maybe become a biologist, which was something I didn't really even have a concept of what that really meant, but it sounded really exciting. But I was afraid of some of the math, and the math was very daunting for me, and so instead I chose to pursue the field of journalism, and I'm not unhappy that I did that, but I think about you know, what Matt Blakely said about opening up minds and how Project Exploration is able to do that. And if there'd been a Project Exploration around at that time, what difference it might have made in my life. But the difference it's making in so many lives, thousands of lives, is what we're here to celebrate today. As Gabe says, this is a coming out party for Project Exploration. You've been around 10 years, but the best is yet to come, and what we want to do today is explore the lessons learned that you're going to hear about from the study, but also to use those lessons learned as a catalyst to build on that success for the future. I'm thrilled to see such a diverse representation of people from the education field, from the activist field, people who come from many different fields and professions and interests, but who share and are united by the passion of educating and engaging young people, especially those young people who've been left out and left behind. Looking forward to the conversation today. I'm going to introduce each speaker one by one to come up and share their perspective on the work that's been done, and then we're going to join each other up here for some conversation, but we're going to leave plenty of time at the end of the program to have conversation with you. This program is being videoed and live streamed and recorded, and it's right now being recorded and shown on the PE website. So when we get to the conversation time and the Q&A time, be sure to use the microphones so that we can make sure we pick up all the conversation.